So as I'll kick us off then. So welcome all to the first xAx podcast. My name's DrCONAJ and I'm one of the UK admins for the clan. Today I'm joined by Isakole. If you want to introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Isakole, and you should go by Cole. I'm one of the newest admins of Allegiance, which is actually pretty fantastic. Been having a lot of fun. And it was actually DrCONAJ over here that recruited me, much to his embarrassment. I'm kidding. But,
Something like that.
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's great.
And then we also have Game Freak.
What's up?
If you want to introduce yourself.
I'm Game Freak. I'm a long enough time admin in the clan. What was it? You do what the rest of the lads do: run raids, events, just like everyone else. Just here to talk about taking King and various other things that'll be coming up in the next expansion pack for Destiny.
Oh yeah, there's a lot to talk about. And finally we're joined by our ambassador from EU, AOS and UK side, Shadow. If you want to introduce yourself.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, my name is Shadow. I'm the EUAS ambassador for Allegiance. I cover that division, and the founder Stevie's covering the NA side at the moment, but we're currently looking to address the NA ambassador at the moment. My role basically is to not oversee the admins, because I don't need any overseeing, but just be that kind of go-to person in between Stevie Bizzle, our founder, and the admins. Even though my name is Shadow, my PSN doesn't read Shadow, but if you're British you'll get the registration plate, so it's all good.
Yeah, luckily. I think the Americans would get it as well, actually. I think we're right on that front. So, if we get started then, I think first to start off really is to go and explain why we're doing this podcast. I mean, as of now, we'll be doing this every week with 3 to 4 people. And I suppose depending on if we're doing things like raid as well, we might do a raid podcast as well at some point when the new expansion's out, or maybe in the build up to the expansion as well. But for the time being, it'll be 3 to 4 people at 8 PM BST. And next week, hopefully, there'll be a nice little graphic with everyone's time zones on it that you'll see exactly, so you won't have to kind of use Google and everything to figure it out, which will be nice. Every Monday, and that will run up to an hour. This one might probably end up running a little bit over an hour considering how much we got to talk about, but we'll get there anyway. As we continue to expand, we will be using the variety of social media to engage with clan members, and I think Twitter is another thing that we're kind of going to expand into. I know Cole's going to head that up. And YouTube as well, something that we're going to start using to showcase talent from around the clan, and also we're going to put the podcast up on there as well, so you can feel free to listen to it anytime you like, also as a highlight on Twitch. So I think what we also need to talk about as well on the clan side is recruitment lately, and a lot of new members. I've seen we've kind of gone from 300 to 360, it seems. I think that's the official count at the moment, in about 2 weeks, and that's fantastic. I mean, Cole, what are your thoughts on that?
It's just been fantastic. I know we went through a little bit of a slump when I first came in, just like we had a few people here and there, but for some reason it's just blown up. I mean, we have a bunch of people coming over to the Bungie forums, and just people coming in left and right. They're like coming out of the freaking word work, dude. Just like everywhere. And there's so many people. Like, I probably log into PSN and I have 5 new friend requests, because, you know, everyone has to friend the admins. It's just like, Jesus, we're growing like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's great.
It definitely seems to be the case that we're definitely growing in a exponential rate. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, Game Freak, how many people have we had on kind of our side, would you say, roughly?
Oh Jesus, the amount of friend requests I get, lads from the EU, AUS side, just joining. Like, I opened up my PSN there this morning and I had 6 new friend requests. I was like, Jesus Christ,
yeah.
The amount of people.
It's getting really big, and I'm really happy to see like a really large community coming together. And I mean, it's not that we weren't big anyway, but it's nice that it's growing and that more people are trusting us and trusting us to kind of lead them in the right direction and get them through raids and get them through the new content. Shadow, what about you? What have you been thinking?
I think what's important to note here is, like Cole said, we were stagnating a little bit in terms of we're sitting at the 300, 310 mark. But just to give a bit of background to it, our admins, and there's like over 20 of them now in the clan who help all the members and things like that, they've each got a responsibility to recruit one member a week to keep our clan growing. Now the reason to keep the clan growing is to let us expand. If people think a clan that's, for example, our size, just in between 300 to 400 members, aren't competing with the big boys, I can reassure you that we are competing with the big boys.
We're matching the Middle East.
We're the second most active on iClan. iClan are persistently having to adapt to the volume of activity that we put on their servers. Constantly having to adapt, and those TV gets messages all the time from them. So iClan are aware of how active we are, and if you compare our activity per month, and I'll just give you an example, in March there was 168 events on our calendar, and in April I think we beat that by, I think it was 5, I think we hit 173 events on our calendar. That is more than a lot of the clans you'll see on Reddit, on PS4 clans, things like that. We are up there in terms of activity, competing with the big boys. So that's one of the reasons for continuing to make this clan grow. And as we grow, each new division will then branch off. We had the UK branch off from the EUAUS not too long ago. The EUAUS itself, European and Australia, is now almost at 100. So the next branch off will be a European division and an Australian division.
That'd be big.
Going to continue to go. So these are all big things that are going to happen, and then the structure in terms of founder, ambassador, admin may change. There may be a role in between that for example, head admin of each separate division, like head admin UK, head admin Europe, head admin Australia. These type of things could come in over time. So I think it's great to see the positive recruitment, and it's kudos to all the admins that have been doing the recruiting, and it's kudos to all the members that have been joining and enjoying our community. I don't really receive anything other than positive feedback in terms of new members that join the clan, and some questions that they ask me. Everything's kind of on the website, and the admins are fantastic at what they do, so I welcome it.
Yeah, and it's absolutely that. I mean, I've played with a handful, I'd say, of new recruits, and they've been absolute pleasure. Really good to play with. You know, just great gamers and good to talk to, and just really friendly. And you know, it's just nice that we're promoting more of that, which is always good. Also, just want to say to all the new members out there, I mean, us admins are here, and I'm sure Shadow would back me up on this. All of us admins are here just to help you. So if you ever have any trouble at any time, you know, feel free to contact us. You know, we might not be able to help you at the time, but there's always someone around, and you know, we'll get the word out and make sure that you're helped as best you can. You know, don't feel afraid of kind of sending us a PSM message, or especially a message on the website's the best way to get us. So that's the way to do it if you want to kind of get the most amount of help out of us, because it's just easier for all of us to communicate on one place. Shall we move on to DLCs? So we've done 2 DLCs so far now. I obviously wasn't an admin, and I think, Shadow, were you the only admin here around for the Dark Blow?
I was, yes. I was one of the only ones. That time.
It's changed. Times have changed, haven't they? Huge now.
Times have changed massively from Crota. I think we learned from what we rolled out at the DLC at Crota in terms of our admin turnover, and in terms of how we actually rolled that out to our members and helped them through it. And I think we made a lot of improvements when House of Wolves came out, and I think we'll make even more improvements come the time for the Taken King to be released. That's the type of clan we are. We'll learn from any mistakes that we make and we try and make things better for all our members.
Absolutely.
As much as we can.
And Game Freak, I mean, and to Cole as well. You guys have kind of only really been around for. I mean, Game Freak, you weren't around for Dark Below, were you? Or were you not an admin at that point?
I wasn't an admin at the time. It was made admin a few weeks after the Dark Below came out.
Yeah, so it's kind of same as me as well. So, well, no, I joined a bit afterwards, actually. Forget that entirely. Don't listen to me. So, for us two, and all three of us as well, as being admins through kind of through House of Wolves. I mean, Cole, more of a member, but you ran it with me. I mean, how have you found the House of Wolves comparing to the Dark Below? Do we like it more than the Dark Below? What do you think was better about it?
I think I think I like this newest installment more, because with the Dark Below, it was, here's a few story missions, here's a raid. Okay, somebody beat it within 6 hours. Fantastic. You're done. But with Prison of Elders, it's something new each week. Like, there's a new burn, there's a new boss, I mean, Skolas is still the same, but it's just so much more versatile now, because now you actually have to adjust for what the changes are with, 32 and 34. So I think it's more of a, I wouldn't say just an installment, but like a living thing that's been inserted into Destiny. And we now have to adjust like any good war goes. I mean, it's just fantastic. I love it. Plus, the reef is beautiful. Like, who wouldn't want to go there? So, I like it a lot more.
And what about you, Game? How have you found this release compared to the last one?
I found the Dark Below kind of disappointing. Like, it was very minimalist. Like, it didn't explain any of the story, like who Eris was, what happened to our fire team.
Well.
The weapons were the raid weapons weren't as good as the Vault of Glass weapons. A lot of them were a little disappointing. There's a few gems in the bunch, but most of them are not that good. And I found the raid was just, it's too easy. Like, Atheon still takes the same amount of hits, even no matter what level you're at, the same amount of damage. But Crota gets easier the higher you level up.
Yeah.
And I can solo him on normal now on my own, like, and it kind of takes the thrill out of it. Like, he used to be like this boss, like, how do we fucking beat him? Like, he'd be cheesing and trying to like find ways to just beat him as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Yeah.
But now with the House of Wolves, the bosses change each week. There's a new challenge, there's new modifiers. There's different ways to play. There's like so much stuff to deal with. There's mines to deal with. There's big important VIP targets. And then there's Skolas, which is easily the hardest challenge in Destiny. Like, Shadow and Legal spent like 10 hours beating the first time, was it, Shadow?
9.5, yeah.
Yeah, and like I've tried him 4 times now and I still haven't beaten him. I think me, Delay and that were in him, we were in Dal were in him for 5 hours trying to beat him. We couldn't. It's like, it shows you how challenging some of the new bosses can be, and how much more of a challenge is going to be coming ahead with the new stuff with the Taken King. And there is a few things I don't like about the House of Wolves. Like, some of the weapons are a bit underwhelming. Like, from Varix are a bit underwhelming. They're not as good.
Oh no, absolutely. Like, from Varix, I always thought they were. Even the armor as well has been really underwhelming. That whole strength thing for 4 weeks. I mean, what was that about?
Yeah, I thought that was a bit ridiculous. Like, the perks are sometimes useful, like the Mutineer to turn off a captain's teleport. That can be very situational and very useful against, like, fighting Skolas against him. But I don't like the way that, like, the weapons are so, like, situated on one thing and one thing only. They can't, like, they're not as versatile as some of the other weapons. Like, the same with the Crota weapons. Like, they're tiered toward, a lot of them are tiered towards one type of enemy. Like, the Song of Air Youth and the Pulse Rifle team towards just killing knights, while the Vault of Glass weapons are just completely versatile in their usage.
This is true. You have a very good point.
Yep, absolutely. Can I ask, Shadow, how long did it take us for the clan to beat Crota the first time, from the admin's point of view? What was how long did it take from the game's release till when we beated it? When we beat it, sorry, beated it. Jesus, my English is so poor.
Well, we beated him about I think what you've got to remember here is, this might sound like a long time, but what you've got to remember here is at the time the EU-AUS was spread across what it says on the tin, the EU-AUS, we had to get admins together from UK, from Europe, and Australia, all to try and run it. Then it took us, I think, 10 days. I think 3 goes it took us. And we finally
3 goes
finished
isn't
it.
a bad one either. That's really good.
But it took us 10 days just to get all those admins together. But as we've obviously increased in size, obviously it's a lot easier. Like, I could just send a message to the UK admins and we could probably arrange a time like tomorrow or the next day if something new came out, and we could just work on it and then get rolled out to the
Absolutely.
members. So yeah, it took us 10 days. I
And
thought it was an absolute nightmare at the start, but we got
and
there
how
in the
long
end.
and how quick did we do Skolos this time as a clan? What was the admins run?
How do you mean? Well, not all the admins are through him, if you know what I mean.
No.
That's
I mean the
to point out, but-
first set of admins. How long did it take you?
Oh yeah, me, Legal, and Dog did it the first night it was released.
First night. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to get at. Is that I think we've kind of, like you say, we've adapted. We found a great group of admins now. You know, there has been a bit of change, but you know, that's just the way it is. Some people did with no fault, and you know, it's absolutely fine. You know, everyone has their reason. It isn't able to be an admin, and you know, but we go through a particular process to make sure that you know those people are, you know, the best they can be, and you know that's kind of showing now, especially in all of the admins that are around at the moment. And we've recently had promotions across both the Americas and UK and EU parts. Obviously we've had Smix, we've had Cole obviously as well. Just trying to think, Ray as well, Ray Mysterio is one of our
This might sound like a long time, but what you got to remember here is at the time the EU-AUS was spread across what it says on the tin, the EU-AUS, we had to get admins together from UK, from Europe, and Australia, all to try and run it. Then it took us, I think, 10 days. I think 3 goes it took us. And we finally
3 goes
finished
isn't
it.
a bad one either. That's really good.
But it took us 10 days just to get all those admins together. But as we've obviously increased in size, obviously it's a lot easier. Like, I could just send a message to the UK admins and we could probably arrange a time like tomorrow or the next day if something new came out, and we could just work on it and then get rolled out to the
Absolutely.
members. So yeah, it took us 10 days.
And
I thought it was an absolute nightmare at the start, but we got
and
there
how
in the
long
end.
and how quick did we do Skolos this time as a clan? What was the admins run?
How do you mean? Well, not all the admins are through him, if you know what I mean.
No. I mean
to
the
point out, but-
first set of admins. How long did it take you?
Oh yeah, me, Legal, and Dog did it the first night it was released.
First night. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to get at. Is that I think we've kind of, like you say, we've adapted. We found a great group of admins now. You know, there has been a bit of change, but you know that's just the way it is. Some people did with no fault, and you know it's absolutely fine. You know, everyone has their reason. It isn't able to be an admin, and you know, but we go through a particular process to make sure that you know those people are, you know, the best they can be, and you know that's kind of showing now, especially in all of the admins that are around at the moment. And we've recently had promotions across both the Americas and UK and EU parts. Obviously we've had Smix, we've had Cole obviously as well. Just trying to think, Ray as well, Ray Mysterio is one of our Mexican ones. You know, we've really come across a great group of people, and I think it's starting to really show in what we're doing within the game as well, and hopefully we'll be able to carry that over into the Taken King and bring everyone with us, because as we always say, we're a community. Loyalty is everything.
I think, just going back to the points that Game Freak and Cole made to begin with about the differences between Crota and the new DLC, the House of Wolves, Game Freak got spot on with Crota. I think it was very underwhelming. If you take Black Hammer, Hunger, Crota, Fang of Are out of there, are there really any other weapons that you take?
None.
I can't think
No.
of any. If you take the House of Wolves release, and this is one of the things that is maybe good to get out on this podcast, is the admins. I've had to answer a few questions about this recently. The admins do admin runs for a specific reason.
Mhm.
That simple reason is to stop frustration. For example, if I had taken, or any admin had taken, a few members through 2 school on that first night, are you really wanting to sit there frustrated for 9.5 hours?
No.
That's not good for any member, that's not good for any admin or anything like that. And the reason that admins get through it first is for a couple of reasons. First thing is, obviously, to know that they can do it and lead a team through it. But the second thing is to get a strategy right that they can then take all the other members through it, because you want to stop that frustration. Personally, if I was a member signing up for an event, if Cole was running a PoE 35 next week and I signed up for it, I'd expect Cole to make sure that team got through it. That's the simple fact. If you sign up for an event, you expect them to get through that event. You expect the admin to have that experience and that strategy in place to make it fun, to make it a great laugh and everything like that. But at the end of the day, why are we all there? We want the loot. So that is why the admins do the runs, is so that they can get the strategies together, so that when it's rolled out on the calendar, the members can be supremely confident that the admins know what they're doing, and they're then going to roll it out.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
Those are the reasons behind it.
Yeah, no, I think
only
that's a
one
good
exception
point
to
to
that.
raise. Go on.
The only exception to signing up for an event and not expecting to finish it is the flawless raids, because I won't lie, those are really tough.
Yeah, no, that's a good
Yeah.
point to raise. Yeah.
That's cool. But that'll be put up in your requirements, so yeah,
Mm.
that's cool.
Absolutely, but that's the thing. When I think that's a really important thing to point out, is that when we are doing a raid, it's not for our ego personally. Maybe a little bit, I won't deny it, but it's not for our ego personally. Well, yeah, exactly. It's not for our ego personally to want to finish the raid. We want to do it because we want to get through as a team. And look who it is. It is our founder, ladies and gentlemen. Stevie Bizzle is here, live on the xAx official podcast. Here he is.
What? Who's here? Who's
This guy called Stevie. He's a bit weird.
Yeah, nobody likes him. Get off.
Oh, jeez.
That job does not begin to describe it.
I got confused. Parties. I was trying to get into someone else's party. And
it's a lie. He came straight here.
Podcast, brilliant.
What is going on right? Oh, we're doing a podcast.
He's been commenting all over the Twitch page. Don't worry, he knows it's happening. He's being intentionally like this. He's being a pain. Wow. So how have you found the transition? How have you found the transition, Stephen? How have you found the House of Wolves?
Well, to be honest with you, this is the wrong guy to be talking to, because I have probably about 3 days of gameplay into the House of Wolves since it's been out. So, my role has kind of transitioned since this clan has grown. I don't really have too much play time. I try to play when I can. I kind of learn it from you guys at the end of the day, what you guys post on the forums and what you guys post relative to the game, watching feed. And the Twitch feed, so I'm extremely inexperienced with it. But what I have seen is, I think the storylines and the depth of the story of Destiny in general has definitely increased. I actually look seeing, the Taken King come out, and you can see the changes they made and the efforts they put into, kind of the lore of Destiny and building up where the Fallen have come from, or there's just more depth to the characters overall. So I think that's what I like the most. Is I feel like I'm a part of something now from House of Wolves. I just wish there was more of it. It's just an expansion, but you can see it going in the right direction. Where the first other 2 games, the original and then Crota didn't really have that.
No, definitely not. It's been a massive change with the second DLC. I prefer it, but it still feels short, so that's why I'm looking forward to the Taken King, and we will get onto that shortly. Right. So let me think now. So, in terms of Taken King, obviously we don't know entirely what's going to happen, but let's talk briefly about how we're going to kind of begin to plan to roll out the Taken King. Stevie, I mean, maybe not best to ask you, are you going to be around for only 2 days of that as well?
Well, if we have 600 members in our clan, yeah, probably. I'll probably be happy. It's a lot for me right now. I mean, I'm taking over the ambassador role on the NA side and trying to work
it is
that
a huge
as best
thing.
as I can, along with running everything else from a day-to-day process. Cleaning out different rosters, making sure we don't overload certain rosters and stuff like that. So there's a lot on my plate. My free time is going into the community itself. But who knows? I mean, I do love the game still.
Are you looking forward to the next raid?
Of course. I'm a beast. So, I mean, I'm one of the best raiders, probably in Allegiance. So, I mean, nobody really sees my skills too often.
Oh my god.
But when I do raid, I'm like the most, how the Dos Equis commercials, there's the most interesting man in the universe. I'm the most interesting raider in the universe. That's
is that it? I see it.
Yeah, because it's so bad.
What?
Oh
no,
God.
But I am looking forward to it. I'm a Titan at heart. I'm looking forward to sitting there and seeing that subclass come out. I think it's gonna be really cool with that fire hammer thing.
That hammer is gonna be cool. We're definitely getting on to that. I'm looking. We're going to go into all of that in just a second. So, in terms of the raid, generally, what we're going to do, are we going to stick to the same formulas then, Shadow? Do you think it will be just admins at first, still with, what will it be? Are we going to go for the elders as coming into, or are we going to go for raid generals?
I think this type of thing obviously is not decided yet, but I can say the process that will happen. There will be, obviously, the monthly admin meetings take shape, and me and Stevie will obviously discuss the content of those and make sure they're rolled out properly and we're getting the right feedback in terms of admins engaging with members, what do they want, what do they like, what don't they like, and we'll make sure that when me and Stevie come to meet to decide the rollout with the NA ambassador, who will hopefully maybe be in post by that time, who knows. Once that meeting takes place, that rollout will then take shape and it'll go out in the news, but I can't see any change from a successful formula of the admins get together, they run it, they figure out the strategies, as I've just said 10 minutes ago or so, figure out the strategies, get them up in the calendar, and then when the members join, they can be again supremely confident that the admins know what they're doing and have a reasonable chance of completing that raid. So I don't see any change from that formula unless there's something drastic that happens between now and those meetings when they take place prior to September.
Hopefully not the raid getting cancelled. Well, we're going to come on to that. We're going to come on to that, Stevie. Don't drop it yet. Don't drop it yet.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
Well, I'll tell you what. No, go on. Actually,
I sneezed.
It was actually the next thing. So let's talk about it now then. PvP tournament? Do you want one? Is it going to happen? If the community asks for it, will you say yes?
Well, normally I don't do what the community wants. I do what I want to do. So basically, I do everything opposite of what the community wants. If they want this, I try to do the polar opposite, and it has a tendency to be working for almost a year. No, we definitely want to do a PvP tournament. I think really, right now, it's time frames. Me and Shadow have discussed it several times, and we're just trying to find the right time to implement something of that nature. Will there be a PvP tournament? Yes. When has yet to be determined. So it's just a matter of putting the right time frame in it, and really bridging that gap between House of Wolves and Taken King. Trust me, we'll know.
I've just seen. Sorry. I've just seen Rockstar put in the chat, the Aussies will win.
The Aussies will win?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
They've declared themselves the best.
Well, it will be. I will say it's going to be a bigger tournament than the last tournament. I've been kind of contemplating which way I want to go as far as the direction of it, but it'll definitely be a bigger structure. I think our speed rate tournament was an 8 bracket or an 8 branch tournament, from what I remember. Right, it was 8, 4, 2, 1. Yes. So the PvP will be much bigger, and that's the only detail I can give right now. So. You guys will have to just wait and see.
Cole and Game Freak, would you be looking forward to a PvP tournament? Would you be wanting to get involved?
I would get involved. I think it'd be a great thing to do. But at the moment, like until like we have like private like matches, you know, where you can like invite your friends to fight each other. That's kind of what we need for a PvP tournament. But they don't have that yet in Destiny. So until that kind of happens, I think a PvP tournament is just out of our reach at the moment.
Would you not think that something like maybe based on how many wins in 10 games or something would work?
I think something like that could work.
Or just generally a win-loss streak and at the end of the week?
Yeah, but to me a tournament is you're fighting against fellow members. Like, for example, like my team versus your team, Doc, like in like a 6v6 like match of Clash or Control. That's a tournament match, you know, kind of thing. That's what I expect from a tournament.
Okay.
But Bungie don't have that implemented yet. They might release it with a Taken King. We don't know. Until it does, we have to find out.
I mean, I think that's definitely something people would be hoping for from the Taken King. I mean, what about you, Cole?
I would definitely love an area where we could actually fight each other. Now, I probably get creamed when I'm playing with Smix or you, Doc. You know, just my face bastion. But hey, that's nothing new. But I think what we could probably settle on now, just in the time frame between now and the Taken King, would probably have to be something like Rumble. I mean, we could do Control or, you know, whatever the other ones are. I can't remember off the top of my head. But sure, we could do a win-loss thing. But if we kind of went the area of Rumble to where we had our 3 people, and then 3 randoms who would be the wild card factor, whoever came out on top with just within the 3 would actually move on to the next bracket. That's the only way I can see that actually working right now. But
okay.
That's my only thought on it.
It's definitely an interesting way to go about it. I suppose they'd overcome the what's it called? Not having private ones. I mean, to be honest, I don't understand why they didn't implement some sort of private server thing, because it just seems silly, especially with like Halo as it was, and how I think Halo got bigger off of something like that when they were doing private stuff, because like, for example, Rooster Teeth used it to make videos in the private multiplayer servers.
But you also have to think about it this way too. I mean, in order to have those private servers, they would also have to fix the programming and the scripting within the game to where, like, if we took 6 in right now and 3 people needed to do the Thorn bounty, they would have to somehow figure out who has that bounty and then disable it. You know, they'd have to put that into it. You know, all the bounties, like, you need so many,
stopping the cheating and things.
kills.
Yeah, I suppose.
Exactly. That's probably why they haven't implemented it yet, because that's so much scripting, because you would have to disable so much, and then you're just taking
take off all
from...
bounties. If you go on to private, just take it all off. There you go.
Well, yeah,
Hey guys, I just wanted to say goodbye. I have to go to a softball game. I just wanted to make a quick entrance and be like, "What up?" And then be like, "See ya."
What is softball?
It's a co-ed beer league, Shadow.
Hey, are you going outside?
Yeah, I know. My paley skin needs some tan skin, dude. Jeez. I know. I feel like the thing from what is that? I Am Legend. Like it only goes in the shadows and it's like, like that's how I feel right now. I need to get some tan.
You mean my people? Because you know.
Yeah. I'll make a little statement here, though, before I leave, guys, for the official podcast. Thanks to all the members and administrators for being awesome. You guys are doing a really good job. I know I'm a jokester and stuff like that, but the efforts of the administrators have been nothing short of awesome. You know, you guys have been doing a really, really good job. Seeing this and you know, CONAJ, you taking the initiative to do this podcast here today is awesome, man. I applaud your efforts in terms of making this happen. And
thank you very much.
Keep up the good work, guys. I mean, I'm not, you know,
I didn't do it alone, that's for sure.
Yeah, me and Shadow are in the same boat and the same thought process when I say we're not looking to give way in terms of letting in or putting the pedal down and coasting to the finish line. If you think of it, we're still making this clan as big and great as it could possibly be. Our goal is to be the best PS4 community we can possibly be, and we won't stop until we get there. So, and we
That's
wouldn't be
exactly
getting
it.
there if it wasn't for all you guys. So, I thank you guys, and I'm off to drink beer and play baseball.
Enjoy yourself. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Cheers, Stevie. Take care, buddy.
Shark City.
Later, guys.
Have a good one.
See you later.
Okay. I think with that, we'll move on to the Taken King, the big thing. And while we're talking about it, I think me, Game Freak, and Cole, we're going to free-man Crota's End as well. We'll do that now. I'm going to quickly switch character, actually. I'm going to go to my Titan. So, Taken King. So, what edition is everyone getting?
The collector's edition, the physical collector's edition, because I want those exotic class items that increase my XP gain. I want those extra weapons, and actually I might give that code to my little brother because he's picked up Destiny and has very little. So I think I'll give that code to him in order to get him going with the weapons because he doesn't have much at the moment. So I might give it to him. You get a few other things like a strange coin replica, a book on Destiny's lore, like a schematic of Icebreaker broken down into just great base parts, stuff like that. For 80 quid. You're basically paying 80 quid for more than the digital edition, which you can buy off the PSN store.
Yeah, that was,
So,
I saw that. Like the digital edition was like what, 90 quid or something?
Yep. It's cheaper to buy the collector's edition at a GameStop or something like that.
It's crazy.
I know, yeah. Also, if you pre-order the Taken King, just pre-order it.
Oh, by the way, Cole, you're leading in a moment.
Yeah, I know.
If you pre-order it, and then August 30th, you'll get a code from Bungie for a new shader, Sparrow, and Emblem. It's supposedly called the Space Tiger. At the moment, that's all I know about it. And
Space
it's
Tiger.
like black
Interesting.
and white with tiger stripe pattern running through it. It looks like a very nice shader. Something similar to the Blacksmith when the Destiny first came out.
I might have to. I'm definitely going to get one. I'm going to get collector's edition myself. What about you, Cole?
Definitely collector's edition. I mean, I got collector's edition for the original Destiny when it came out, and the ghost is actually sitting right here. I named him Tars. But,
Brilliant. Love it.
But the collector's edition, I mean, just looking at it, I mean, you get Treasure Island with Cade's notes and everything. I mean, that in itself is worth it to me because not only do I love Cade, but it's like, because it says in there, it's a book from the speaker's library with Cade's notes, and that's like almost like as if they reached into the game and pulled out something tangible for us to hold in our hands. I mean, that's just awesome to me. But, I mean, there's no way I wouldn't go for a collector's edition. I mean, it's just, I have to have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Granted, there's all those special codes and everything, you get the shaders, Sparrow, all that crap, but it's the tangible things for me, just because that's what I love to collect. Now, as far as, the only thing I don't understand, I mean, I'm probably just dumb, because I am blonde, but, I mean, all these people are buying the digital edition, and that's like an instant download. Now, with me picking up from GameStop, because it is going to be, in my hands with all the stuff, it's just like, am I going to have to wait for the install like everybody else, or are they going to have it before me? That's my only concern. But
true.
Remember, I'm blonde, so I probably have it all wrong.
Well, what I'm confused about is, considering I've got it on disc and I'm running it on disc, don't I need the disc in to run the game?
Yeah, see, that's another question. How does that work?
Well, I think if you swap out your old disc and put in your new disc, it'll have the Taken King on it. Because your profile, right, when I had the physical copy of Destiny, I got rid of it, I gave it to my little brother. And then I downloaded the digital edition, and I still had all my stuff, so it probably works just like that, maybe.
Fair enough. What about you, Shadow? What edition are you getting?
I mean, I'm confused. I was going to speak to Wakadis because he is the Destiny dictionary. He is the guru that will know all the answers to all these questions. But I want everything that Game Freak and Cole had said, but if I can't order it off, or what we saying is I can't order that off PSN.
No.
I can't go in the PSN store and get that, so I'll obviously be going into a game store or whatever to pick up the collector's edition. So I want all the stuff that Game Freak and Cole wanted. I just would prefer if I could just hit my little PS button and go into the store and get it from there, but that's also not going to be...
No, because I did check it, because I wanted to do the exact same. I didn't really want to bother waiting around, but apparently it doesn't work like that.
I'm going to have to pre-order it in the store, which I will do tomorrow now. I know the answer to that.
Yep. Well, you get it all here at the Allegiance podcast.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
so...
that's another question I have.
Go on.
Can I pick up Destiny the Taken King at midnight and have the codes to download, or do I have to wait until, you know, the 11 o'clock or 2 o'clock release and people are already fucking playing? That's my thing. I mean, that's going to really tick me off if that happens.
That's a good point. I suppose there'll be some sort of release for it though, won't there?
Should all be at the same time. Should all be at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, if they're doing a midnight release at GameStop, though, for the physical copies, I am totally going in my Hunter armor. Totally.
Evil
I wanna-
Hunter armor.
I want to
yeah,
be a
I'm looking at
warlock.
extra, actually.
Well, I know I have
Awesome.
a replica of Thorn coming in the post now in a few weeks. Your manager was making it for me.
Nice.
Life-size replica. It cost me, it set me back quite a bit though. That's the one thing I'll say about it.
How much was it? It's a whole new question.
$200. It rotates, the barrel rotates, everything about it is like as real as you can get.
Really? Jesus, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah. My friend Neve makes all movie props as well. She's, I asked her to make me a version, like Hawkmoon as well, and she said she could do
Oh,
it.
I'd love
Just needs,
Hawkmoon.
like, a 3D rendering of it. That's all she needs.
Nice. Yeah, I'm actually making a Monte Carlo and maybe a Hawkmoon by hand. So, there's that.
You'd have to
It
make me
might
one.
be-
I'd actually pay you for
Oh,
that.
yeah. But, right now, looking at it, it would probably only take me 7 hours to make a replica gun.
That's crazy.
I know. I have way too much time on my hands.
Awesome.
That's brilliant.
I know,
Okay.
but,
Let's talk about the new raid.
Think about supers, come on!
Go on, no. Fine. I'll tell you what. We'll go on to the subclasses, the new subclasses. What we thinking?
Yes!
Yes! Boy,
Well-
Hunters cannot wait.
I am honestly a warlock at heart. It was my first character. He is the fucking main man on all my characters. He is my go-to man. He is the man I do everything with first. Skolas first kill, Crota first kill. He is the man. And when I'm running about like raiding off Mortal Kombat, shooting bolts of lightning at people, throw my hands, honestly, I cannot freaking
I'm gonna die.
love that super.
Yep.
And what I really like about it is that
Run,
once you're
Frostco.
getting more in depth, once you're getting more in depth with the story, that I'm actually going to have to go and find out what that super is, acquire it, find out more about it to actually then use it. They're actually making a story around you going and physically finding that power.
That's what it
Well,
looks
it's
like.
Your character.
You
Before,
saw the,
okay, whoa,
Mini
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Arcade videos, right?
whoa, 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 whoa,
Okay,
whoa,
okay,
hold
okay,
it a second. Okay, so you're looking for the void bow, yeah, Cole?
Hell yeah, I mean, I'm a fucking hunter, man.
Game?
There's no
Void
way
Bow?
to do
Same me,
else.
Hunters. Like, I love the super because if you hit someone, it binds them. They cannot move. They cannot activate their supers. They cannot throw their grenades. They cannot move. They cannot. They can only shoot at you, right? And it can, and if they're mid super, say if you see a Titan run around with that Scorch Hammer or a Radiance Warlock or a Blade Dancer, hit them with it. It cancels out the super and drains the super bar. Like, how fucking useful is that going to be in the Crucible? Extremely useful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And instead of having like a regular melee, it has a smoke bomb. You throw it like bind.
Yeah,
enemies
no, I
with the
thought that was
super,
really cool.
Throw a smoke bomb, and then poison them with like you can have a perk to poison them like Thorn with it, where you throw like and when they're stuck in a cloud of smoke, can't move, and they're slowly dying. It's better.
It's going to be good.
I'm
And
gonna
I
shoot
saw
bolts of
some.
lightning at you, so.
I got to
It's very
say,
fucking close to that lightning though.
yeah, but I like the fact that it. I don't know what the word is for it, but it does go from one enemy to the other. It actually, what's the word?
Chains, yeah.
Chains. That's the word. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Wow.
Daisy chain?
Yeah, well, daisy chain's
It's
probably a good
also-
word for it. Yeah.
The longest lasting super of any super, because if you've got a full grenade and super energy ready to go as soon as you activate it, it lasts much much longer.
That it just looks awesome when you're using the lightning. Though I don't know. It's
Full set of corroding wizard gear, and then you're a wizard.
you're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it.
Oh, I fucking love it. Okay. So yeah, that's the other thing. The backstories. We saw it on what was it? The Titan was on Mercury.
Yeah.
Did it looked like to me the Hunter was on the Black Garden
Garden.
again? Yeah.
Black
Mars.
Garden.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
And Cole was
And-
thinking that the Warlock was on Earth somewhere, or would you
The
would you
Warlock
guys
is
say
on
that?
Earth because if you look at it, well, either Earth or Mars. I can't actually tell because either looks like Exodus Blue, or whatever it's called. What's the Crucible map where the V is really hard to take because of that stupid doorway? It's at the
Exodus
bottom of the
Blue's
stairs.
Earth.
Is that
Yeah.
it? Yeah. What's the other one though? On Mars.
I thought it was rain in the trailer. I thought it was like
Stealthy.
a part of Venus and the Ishtar Collective.
Maybe.
It might be either one because it's like a human settlement anyway, so it's hard to see really because it's very dark with the Warlocks one.
I mean,
Either
would you
way,
do you think it will only be you'll only be able to? I'm guessing this is the thing though. You'll only be able to access each of the separate stories or finding each of the subclasses with your individual character. So it's going to be interesting that they've implemented something like that. I mean, I don't know. I would have thought something like that would be difficult to do, but apparently not. It
It's
seemed-
going to change things up, like at a certain
Yeah.
level that only one character can actually access specific, like, you know, like,
Mm.
'cause, like, I can't wait to get that bow and just start, like, binding enemies, because, like, the Hunter is purely offensive, and only has a support class to help their teammates, just like the Titan can,
Mm.
because some of the perks are incredible, like, if
I'm going
the
for
more
it.
enemies you bind with the bow, the more stat boosts your entire fire team get, like, with recovery and armor, just by binding a few enemies,
Mm.
and leaving them completely vulnerable. And I'm thinking it could be useful for binding Skolas and holding them still.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do you wanna go across first game, Free?
Yeah, we should be able to swing across, yeah.
Cool. We'll do it. I'll be on this plate.
I've got another 5 minutes, Doc.
That's all right, my friend. If you've got to shoot off, we'll try and get through this a bit quicker in a second. Then.
No problem at all, mate.
Um,
I think we'll be talking briefly about the new PvP modes.
oh yeah, we would
Oh.
absolutely. Go on,
Oh yeah.
Game Freak. You finish what you were saying.
Was like the new perks are all designed, like the Warlock is designed for like offense or support.
Mm.
Titan like have the same kind of role, and the Hunter was purely offensive. Now that he has a defensive, like a support class to help out teammates, it could be very useful for raids like binding Skolas, which is kind of tricky because you can keep him away from you now, or bind like tricky enemies to kill like sniper vandals or
Mm.
hobgoblins to stop them from able to shoot you.
And I think that's the thing, especially I think you might have said, but in PvP where it just stops their super. I mean, that's something that I think I'll be leveling. Oh god, I've just fallen off. Okay, well, Cole, you might as well kill yourself as well, and I'm sure Game Freak can finish it off on the other side easy.
Oh yeah, easy enough, yeah.
But yeah, no, like that super is going to be really good in PvP. So let's talk about PvP. Mayhem and Rift. Which one are we looking forward to more?
Mayhem.
Why is that?
Fast charging supers, nearly instantaneous grenades, and just like I can imagine like a bunch of like warlocks going around with nova bombs and like fucking titans going around with smash and that scorch hammer.
Mm.
The hunters going around with the bows. Like I can see like other supers like the blade dancer kind of not being used as much because
No.
one nova bomb and you're dead, like kind of thing. So you
Yeah.
want like you want something that like instantly kills. You don't have to move around much. Like the scorch hammer, I see is that one of the most useful supers because you can walk around and throw it. Like it's like you're like Thor with fire. Just boom, you're gone. Boom, you're gone.
Mm.
And the Stormcaller, I can see that being very useful for like clearing like rooms because it chains enemies and links out.
Mm.
Well,
I can.
but it doesn't have an extreme amount of range, which I'm a bit worried about.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Cole, what about you?
I mean, the new Crucible, I mean, Mayhem, why the hell not? Because that's just fun. But, For some reason, I'm really looking forward to Rift. I mean, it's pretty.
Is it the
like
backflip
Control,
into
but...
the
Come on, my
rift?
Hunter doing that backflip, she's gonna be glorious. I mean, it's gonna be great. But,
Well, you say that,
you know
not
she
compared
is.
to Elise.
You know she is. But I don't know. For some reason, Rift. I mean, it's almost like playing. Like if you took a basketball court and cut it in half, that's pretty much you're just playing basketball with Rift. I mean, with Guardian powers. That's pretty cool to me.
Fair enough.
There's no other way to put it.
That's definitely one way to go about it, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, but in the
ogres are out, by the way.
yeah, with the VDOC, I mean, I would have to say that it's just really interesting to me that one of the maps that they showed briefly was actually the tower, to where you see Lord Saladin, and when the Queen's ambassador was there.
I thought that
in that area.
I thought it was a different tower. I didn't think it was the actual tower.
Well, considering we only have one tower, I mean, where else can it be? You know?
Well, no, there's more than one tower.
There is that
Is
black
there?
door beside the speaker. I think it's in there
Yeah.
because that. Yeah, we should be able to swing across, yeah.
Cool, we do it. I'll be on this
I
plate.
I've got another 5 minutes, Doc.
That's alright, my friend. If you've got to shoot off, we'll try and get through this a bit quicker in a second then.
No problem at all, man.
Um,
We'll be talking briefly about the new PvP modes.
oh yeah, we would absolutely... Go on,
Oh yeah.
Game Freak, you finish what you were saying.
Like the new perks are all designed. Like the Warlock is designed for like offense or support. Titan like have the same kind of role, and the Hunter was purely offensive. Now that he has a defensive, like a support class to help out teammates, it could be very useful for raids like binding Skolas, which is kind of tricky because you can keep him away from you now, or bind like tricky enemies to kill, like sniper vandals or hobgoblins to stop them from able to shoot you.
And I think that's the thing, especially I think you might have said, but in PvP where it just stops their super. I mean, that's something that I think I'll be leveling. Oh god, I've just fallen off. Okay, well, Cole, you might as well kill yourself as well, and I'm sure Game Freak can finish it off on the other side easy.
Oh yeah, easy enough, yeah.
But yeah, no, like that super is going to be really good in PvP. So let's talk about PvP. Mayhem and Rift. Which one are we looking forward to more?
Mayhem.
Why is that?
Fast charging supers, nearly instantaneous grenades, and just like I can imagine like a bunch of like warlocks going around with Nova bombs and like fucking Titans going around with Smash and that Scorch Hammer. And the Hunters going around with the bows. Like I can see like other supers like the Blade Dancer kind of not being as used as much because one Nova bomb and you're dead, like kind of thing. So you want something that like instantly kills. You don't have to move around much. Like the Scorch Hammer, I see is that one of the most useful supers because you can walk around and throw it. Like it's like you're like Thor with fire. Just boom, you're gone. Boom, you're gone. And the Stormcaller, I can see that being very useful for like clearing like rooms because it chains enemies and links out. It doesn't have an extreme amount of range, which I'm a bit worried about.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Cole, what about you?
I mean, the new Crucible, I mean, Mayhem, why the hell not? Because that's just kind of fun. But for some reason, I'm really looking forward to Rift. I mean, it's pretty.
Is it the
like
backflip
Control,
into the rift?
My Hunter doing that backflip, she's gonna be glorious. I mean, it's gonna be great. But,
well, you say that, not compared to Elise.
You know she is. But I don't know. For some reason, Rift. I mean, it's almost like playing. Like if you took a basketball court and cut it in half, that's pretty much you're just playing basketball with Rift. I mean, with Guardian powers. That's pretty cool to me.
Fair enough.
There's no other way to put it.
That's definitely one way to go about it, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, but in the
ogres are out, by the way.
Yeah, with the VDOC, I mean, I would have to say that it's just really interesting to me that one of the maps that they showed briefly was actually the tower, to where you see Lord Saladin, and when the Queen's ambassador was there.
I thought that
in that area.
I thought it was a different tower. I didn't think it was the actual tower.
Well, considering we only have one tower, I mean, where else can it be?
Well, no, there's more than one tower.
There is that black door beside the speaker. I think it's in there because that black door seems to be where it leads. It's like it looks abandoned, like it was let go, like for just matches in the Crucible.
So which one for you, Shadow?
I think purely from a fun perspective, it's mayhem, but
Yeah,
if I
definitely.
was looking at tactics, and you know, I like a tactical battle sometimes more than just going in willy-nilly. So Rift for me is probably the one I'm more looking forward to. I know that I understand, you know, having your super all the time with loads of people going about. But imagine having a bad game where you're not ready to land with your super. It's going to be no fun at all. You're just going to consistently get your head smashed. But in Rift,
Yeah.
just seeing how the team works together, and you know, putting that backflip in, whichever, I know the hunters will use the whatever card you are, that's going to feel good. That's going to be good. Probably one question I do have, I don't know if anybody here can answer it. I know you're going about the speaker and the tower and things like that. There is word that the lighthouse is going to be another new social space, but can anybody tell me the reef, when you land in the reef and you look dead ahead?
Mhm.
So you've got Varric slightly to your left, you've got...
You mean where the Queen
right
is?
hand side.
Into the
Yes.
Queen's chambers.
Is that the Queen's event going to be happening behind
Would-
that door that we can't get in yet?
What do you mean the Queen's event?
Well, there's going to be, like, you know how I had Queen's Wrath events before,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where you could go into it? Is that where they're going to, is that where, like, where's that door go to?
Oh, the Queen's Wrath stuff was just from Petra.
Yeah.
No, before. Way before, when Destiny first came
Oh,
out.
you mean the first week that we had the Queen and we never had it again?
So, if you picture the reef...
Yeah, that was by Petra. That was Petra.
Alright, okay.
Yeah.
But where
Yeah.
does that
Shit
door
no face
lead?
back then.
That leads to the Queen's Burrows. That it leads to the
Yeah.
Queen stuff.
So
Behind
when
that,
do we get there?
I don't think we are allowed to go through there at all. I think it's just purely for looking fancy,
Aesthetic.
or it's for something a lot further down the line. Maybe something to do with the Taken King, especially with some of the stuff that we were seeing, and obviously with Oryx coming. I think the Queen might have to get involved with some Harbingers potentially.
Don't get me wrong, like, Oryx looks badass with his Batman wings and things like that, that's fair enough, but in terms of the House of Wolves release, when it's about the Queen, that's probably one thing that has disappointed me. We've not even seen her.
No.
You hear her on one Skolas mission, that's it.
Yeah,
Where is she?
and it's the last one as well, and she's just thanking you for clearing up her mess.
Exactly, so
Hey,
I think
There's
there's something
actually-
coming there.
well, there's speculation on that Doc and I have gone over for many hours after we poured over
Many
the
hours.
cards, and it's just many hours. But they're honestly, I don't think the Queen is. Well, obviously she's not being completely honest with us, but
What?
I think she's in cahoots with somebody else, and it might
Ceres.
be the end.
It's all part of it.
Well,
I'm telling you.
I mean, but I think my thing is that oh shit, that's my fault. Okay, we're going.
Okay.
That's my fault.
That's fine.
But
You just shot them, didn't you?
yeah, I did. It's
God
a
damn
trigger
it.
finger.
You Americans.
That's my fault.
Okay, people, on that cheery note, I will love yous and leave you there. Good luck for the rest of the podcast.
Thank you, Shannon, for joining us.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I look forward to the one next week.
Yeah, thank you very
Everybody
much.
else in Allegiance, enjoy the clan, and we'll see you out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining us. That's our ambassador again, everyone.
Catch you later.
See you later, buddy. Alright, okay, so... I know we're gonna keep going, don't worry. Not for much longer, but we will keep going. So... Talked about subclasses. Talked about...
Well, there's one other thing I want to touch on with the subclasses.
Go on.
It's not, game style type, but I really like how the new armor looks. I like that the hunter is getting a bow. I love that the titan's getting a hammer. And the wizard, but the warlock is actually getting like wizard type powers.
Yeah,
And then with the armor, we're seeing the feathers and the fish netting,
it's done.
and all that crap, and it just looks glorious. I mean, with Crota, we got hive-looking armor and weapons,
Bugs,
and then with
armor.
yeah,
Hunters
then
was
with,
only good.
yeah, then with PoE, we got the fallen style stuff.
Yeah.
But then with this new one coming out, it's like we're going back to our own roots. We're getting back into the tribal style, which I just think is fantastic.
So do you think there's going to be more stuff like that, and are you looking forward to it as well then?
Oh yeah, I mean, I love
Oh,
that my
God damn
hunter
it.
is going to have feathers all over.
Yeah, it's going to be
That's
awesome.
just-
I haven't looked too much into the armour, to be honest. I'm trying to keep it kind of under wrap for myself in terms of what it will look like. I don't want to build something up and then it not be that, because you know that they're still going to be changing things as well.
Oh yeah, but I think the style that they're going with is just fantastic. I mean, it touches back to, you know, the base of the Guardians and what we are. I mean, even with, you know, how we get the new subclasses, it's sort of touched on in, you know, the trailer and the vidoc that we're going back to what Guardians were before the collapse, you know, back in the Golden Age, which that's just a great idea.
Looking forward to it, are you?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
let's
we
kill her.
lost everything with the collapse.
She's getting angry. Oh, no thank you, Curseful.
Shit, I'm about to die.
See ya.
Almost done. Done.
So are you.
Yeah. Had to keep fighting though. Had to keep fighting.
You always do.
Yeah, but like, I was digging around for a few things about the new armor, and I found out a few interesting things. Right, armor can now be reforged. The new armors can be reforged.
Yeah.
I don't know
Is
how
that
exactly
is that
what the
confirmed? Because I saw a
you
post
can
about
reforge,
that as well.
Yeah. I seen it on Planet Destiny. The lads confirmed, like by running through all the perks, it can be reforged. Also, there will be 4 perks on the armor instead of 2. You know, like increase ammo capacity or increase this. There'll be perks to increase the stat rolls on each of them, right? So say if like if a piece of armor that has intellect and discipline on it, it'll increase one or the other more. So like say if you have low discipline and you have a piece of armor that has like that gives you more, you can increase it even more.
Really? That's
You can
crazy.
That'd be fantastic.
The class items are now have a use. They increase your stats slightly and have perks in them. They increase. Some of them can increase the damage on burns by instead of 2 times, they increase it 3 times more. So your, like Fatebringers will do 3 times more damage than doing the double of damage it would usually do on an Arc Nightfall. They can also increase your the rate at which your weapons can like level up. So like you increase in which like you can unlock the perk nodes. You can also re-roll them as well.
Well, I've seen on class armors you can now get what is it, weapon? Every time weapon bonuses or XP bonuses.
Yeah, you get XP bonuses. The new exotic class items increase double the they also increase your vanguard or reputation as well. So but just by wearing
Come on.
Item, you double your reputation gains, because it takes a long time to level up most of your like your vanguard, your dead orb or whatever, just trying to get like a shade or a certain weapon that you want from them. Also we will be getting for PS4 users, we're getting 2 new exotic weapons that I have seen so far. We're getting a lever action shotgun, which looks and works similar to Last Word, where you load it up, flip the handle, and then like flick it up into your hand, ready to go.
Fair dues.
We're also getting an exotic scare rifle, the Lucky Jade Rabbit, which is
I saw that.
From what I've seen, it's supposed to be double as a sniper rifle. So that's not confirmed if it doubles as a sniper, but it would be pretty cool if it was like a sniper scout hybrid.
Yeah, that's what it seemed to be from what I saw as well. I did watch the Planet Destiny video on it.
Also, we were also getting 3 legendary sets of armor exclusive to the PlayStation as well. We picked up, just like when they released Vanilla Destiny with the Argus, the Tartarus, and I forget the Warlock's name, the Seeker Manifold armor, I think it was called.
I can't remember myself.
They were rare sets of armor, you could be getting the strikes, but now we're getting these legendary sets, which like have a lot more usage now, like more perks to like strengthen our guardians, like where we can throw grenades further, where we can gain super energy from getting grenade kills, faster reload speeds with our hand cannons, that kind of thing, to make it more useful. Because having 2 perks on an arm piece is pretty good, but having 4 is even better.
Yeah.
So you can swap between them.
Just quickly, game. Do you know what this the PS4 exclusive is specifically for the DLC? for the Taken King? Do you know what it is? It's the Jade Rabbit, isn't it? It's the Jade Rabbit and...
It's the Jade Rabbit, and then there's... it was the lever action shotgun. If you look at the trailer for the Dark Below, nothing is known about it at the minute, but you see a Titan wielding a small, what looks like a stubby shotgun, and it has a lever action handle on it. And it rolls up and flicks up like the last word, and I'm like, that's a new weapon. It looks exotic. It wasn't like the way last word, like it's unique in its animation. Because you see him like pop a few shells into it, and then rotate, like flick up on his wrist like last word. And I think, there we go, with the 2 new exotics that are unique.
Yeah.
Because that's what we need, you know?
Sorry, it's just Tank asking about it. Okay, so, new raid. What are we hoping for from that, compared to the others?
I have seen 2 parts, right, to from leaked footage from the raid. There will be these giant, it supposedly takes place in Oryx's Dreadnought, and the only 2 parts I've seen is where it appears 6 Guardians are trying to cross like a bunch of bridges that like spawn, kind of like small glass, and then jumping over what look like giant lanterns as they swing back and forth. They're the only 2 parts I can think of. The way I think it's going to work is, it's not going to be like Vault of Glass where it doesn't mention or show Atheon until you actually fight him. It's going to like introduce Oryx through the story, and then we're going to have to fight him within the raid itself, kind of like Skolas.
Okay.
That's the way I think it's going to roll out, because like you wouldn't just introduce a boss and not like have the big fight at the end of him where like, you know, he kind of escapes and you have to go fight him with your whole fire team.
So we would all want it to be a bit more like Vault of Glass, though.
Pretty much, because Crota is too short. Like, look at us now, like, we're in normal mode now, we've, like, pretty much 3-man. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that.
Are you going to run the sword, by the way, game? Oh, no, you're Titan.
Okay.
No, I can run the sword.
Okay. Cole, do you want to, who feels more confident? It's going to be shown all on the podcast.
That's what I'm saying, game.
Alright, let's go. Right, let's take down that, which side are you running again, by the way? Right? Left, okay, that's cool. Works for me. There he is.
Well, I'm impressed as well with some of the new weapons. They're unique in their design, like, they're not like traditional looking weapons, especially like, one of the new weapons I cannot wait to get is the new Iron Wreath sidearm. It's a solar, like, sidearm. It looks very cool. Rockets.
Cool, yeah, rockets are fired.
And I seen it and I just can't wait to get it, because it just looks incredible. It has a pretty decent impact.
Rockets again.
For the sidearm. And the new Soros weapons, like...
Yeah, no, I saw that. I love that they're making specific ones themed on all of the foundries from the old age.
Yeah, because like you need that kind of like. I like the way the Taken King took up like the new non-faction legendaries, because all the weapons from Vanilla Destiny Dark Below were all faction related. Like you had to go to the Future War Cult if you wanted this weapon, or Dark Dead Orbit for this specific weapon. But now like there's so many different mixtures to the and there's unique designs to them. Like the Source weapons have all these unique curves to them, like kind of like a sports car kind of design to them.
Exactly
like,
that. Yeah, Suros is meant to be kind of a. I haven't seen it. Oh no, actually, is it the one with a really kind of weird curved sight, and it looks really smooth and sleek?
Like, it kind of looks like that kind of same shape as Dragon's Breath, but it looks more like a sports car.
Yeah,
it has a sight that pops out of the side. It doesn't have a sight until you aim down it.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. One as well.
It looks amazing, so it does. And
how far did you take him down, by the way? Oh Jesus Christ! In like, you hammered him in one.
There's also the new weapons as well, like the new scout rifle I've seen. I forget the name of it. But this this new shotgun I really want called Jikundo. It has really high impact, really high stability, and its rate of fire. It's kind of like Fellwinter's Lie with lots of rate of fire, more higher. I cannot wait for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so many unique weapons I want to get.
Cool.
I'm surprised though they haven't. I'm surprised they haven't shown off any of the new exotics. Like, you know, they've shown off a few, but not like too many. Just they've shown the Jade Rabbit really, and that's it.
Rockets. Yeah, the Jade Rabbit looks alright, but I just don't know how good it will be. I'm just a little bit concerned about the sight. Fire. He's down. So yeah, that was a quite normal. While doing a podcast about Taken King. No, we'll keep going about it.
I love
We'll just
the
sit.
irony.
Yeah, I know. So, good way to lead into it, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it shows you the difference. Like this shouldn't be possible. Like a 3-man raid against the boss, it shouldn't be possible. Like Skolas is doable, like, but every time I've done him, he's pretty difficult. Like even with this lowering his health, and it's just the small things that fuck you over. Like the amount of like Vandal snipers. That's the one thing I will say. There's too many of in there. There's too many Vandal snipers. Because they hit you so hard, like 2 hits.
They do. It's ridiculous. All of the snipers, I think, in all of the factions, really are just nasty. Actually, there's no snipers technically for Cabal or Hive, are there really? But like
No,
for both the Hobgoblins and the Vandal snipers, those two are just nasty.
Yeah, they're like next to them. I think the Centurions, like with the rocket launchers, they are probably the next in terms of like my hate list. Because I don't mind the Minotaurs because you can just rush up them with a good shotgun and just blow them apart. But a lot of the like Cabal are easily the toughest enemies, in my opinion. But
yeah, definitely. Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. It's just Destiny being Destiny, where every so often Cole's like cape just kind of bounces off in a particular way, and it's just flying off into the atmosphere, and it's just fantastic. I just love watching the polygons go crazy. Taken as an enemy, because I want to come on to the Oryxish Dreadnought in a minute, but taken as an enemy, are we satisfied? Do we like the look of them? Did they live up to what we wanted?
well,
Granted, I think they're, not that it's a bad thing, I'm not saying that. The characters are a bit recycled, because, they are the Taken, But I love the fact that they did add, like, a twitch to them, because they are being, corroded at their very soul. They're not who they are anymore. They lost all their will. They have been utterly taken. I mean, it's like aliens abducting aliens. It's fantastic. But I love the fact that they can pop up anywhere, I hope that they actually implement, like, if this Crota raid, like, if we were at the lamps and suddenly they're there, that would be fantastic, just an unknown factor popping up anywhere within the game would be great. But I like the design of them, because just, they look so evil. I mean, they glow a little bit, but they're so evil that they're black. I mean, in the very essence of fabric and time, it's just great. And then their movement is great. It's like blinking.
Yeah, it's really weird. I saw some of the vid doc on it, and it just looks really awesome. They've really made them more alien, as that guy says. They have actually achieved that, which is fantastic.
And it's just so much more unpredictable, and I think that's what we need, because we all know how Crota's going to move, obviously, because we just did it. We know how all the bosses are going to move. We know what they're going to do, but suddenly we have these Taken, and all of a sudden they're in front of us, now they're behind us, crap, now they're to the side, what do we do? We just have to keep adjusting for the environment, which is almost becoming a living thing, because it's constantly changing.
And I think another thing about it is, as well, it looks like the Taken are helping each other, like they gain more power together. I don't exactly know how that works just yet, but it looks like when I saw the Vex moving around together, like they would team up and like, I don't know, feed their power to one another, and it would just make them stronger. The one at the front hit harder or something. I don't know what it is exactly, but before I was going to just suggest a 28 as well. Perfect. Before I come on to you, Game, about what you think of the Taken, I mean, what I kind of quite like, and I don't want to make too much of a reference to it, but I think I said it to Cole, is the fact that it kind of feels like that they've almost made the Flood again.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty much that.
And it's not a bad thing at all. I think it's fantastic. I mean, don't think the reference is a bad thing, but I love that, because I really love the Flood, and I really love how they were introduced in the Halo games, and I think that's why I'm looking forward to this, because I feel like it's going to be obviously very different, but a kind of a rebirth of that moment, and this is going to be kind of a real horrific.
Fairness, because they're going back to their roots now. That's what people wanted.
Yeah.
Well, from what I can see, like the Taken designs, I think, yeah, they are a bit recycled. Yeah, they're enemies that we have fought and have been corrupted by orcs, and they've been pulled out of our dimension and brought into his, where him and Crota were born. They're not aliens from another world. They're from a completely different dimension of universe, like completely from what I've seen. And they've been corrupted into these weapons to use against us. From what I've seen about the few new enemies. The Hydras have gained tendrils which they can attack us with. Vandals,
Yeah, I saw that. That looked crazy.
Vandals can split and multiply. That's one thing I do not want to see. Vandals just spawning endlessly.
Especially if they've got snipers.
Balls can fire energy blasts from their shields, which is...
Yeah, no, I saw that, like, as if they weren't annoying enough.
Similar, but I have seen other, like a few things, like the weapons are, like, different to what, like, I've seen, like, they don't work like normal high weapons, like the boomer weapons or the high weapons, they look different.
Yeah, well, I saw the Hobgoblins one, it looked like it was void instead of solar damage as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe Oryx has changed up his arsenal a bit, you know, kind of like the way we are adapting, like getting our third subclass as well, he's changing up them as well.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely.
I
go on.
like Oryx's design, he's unique, like the Crota is just like a ghost kind of thing, like he's just like kind of like a green knight. Oryx looks menacing, he looks threatening, like he's huge, like he's not like Crota who's just a big glowing knight. Like, he looks intimidating, like I love when you see him like when Bungie was revealing them, like just the wings open up and you see this big black monstrosity, you're like, whoa. I was like,
well,
Go on ahead, Cole.
Well, I think one thing, because I've heard a lot of people complain, well, he doesn't look frightening enough, oh, he's just got wings, that doesn't really make him evil. But hear me out. We never saw anything that would put him to scale. I think he's a lot more massive than the video makes him out to be.
I think that until we play the game, and I think with there being still time for things to change, I think it's kind of reasonably safe to say that there could still be changes on the way. Another good point that Tanks just raised is how do we feel that us as gamers who have followed on the series so far up until now are having to pay the same price as people who've never brought the game at all, haven't played it as long as us, but yet still get the same amount of stuff as us? Because obviously we're now playing for House of Wolves and for Dark Below and the original Destiny.
Yeah. Go on ahead, Cole.
Well, I'm the lady, but okay. I think what most people are forgetting is that yes, we do have to pay as much as everybody else, but Bungie has a lot of overhead. They have their office, they have their staff, you know, they have to keep up with technology. I mean, because that never stands still. Plus, people have to remember that, because like right now, I could be out, like Stevie right now, who talked to me earlier, you know, I could be out having a drink, you know, laughing up with my buddies, but by sitting here, I'm actually saving money because I've already paid for this content. You know, I've already paid for, you know, killing all these things, and I can play it as much as I want. So, you know, that money you would spend, you know, going out, having drinks, you know, going to dinner, all that crap, the amount you're saving is actually outweighs the price of the game. Yeah, having a life, basically. This is my life, so just saying. But, I think that's what most people forget. You know, everyone complains, oh, it's too expensive, but if you think about it, $80 for collectors, and you get all that physical, you know, tangible items you can hold in your hand, plus everything in game. That's actually not a bad price, because you have to think about all the coders, you have to think about the people who do the textures, making it in Maya, you know, all the testers. That's a lot of people, and they have to keep up with, you know, you know, cost of living and all this. So
absolutely,
really, I don't think people realize this when they're complaining about the price.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. What about you, Game Freak?
Well, I agree and disagree with some things. With people saying, like, yeah, I agree that it's a bit ridiculous paying 40 quid for content, right? Some of it's probably already disc for all we know. We don't know, but the one thing I do agree with, Gaming out there at the end of the day is a business. They have to pay for their staff. They have to pay for their office, like Cole said. It's a job. They have to put food on the table for their families as well. It's a business. Like, that's the way gaming's gone now. It's a business. It's not just like, oh, we make this game for the sake of you guys. It's that, and they have to it's their living. It's their way of putting food on the table at the end of the day.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Playing like, oh, it's 40 quid for this was a piece of content. Yeah, but like, think of all like how much it costs to like design the enemies, to program the AI, to like render textures, them kind of things. That costs money.
Yeah.
And, like people's time, like you don't pay someone, like you don't make someone do something for free. Like if you're good at something, never do it for free. Like
yeah, that's what they say.
Nowadays.
No, you're absolutely right. In fact, Rockstar said when you put it into that perspective, you spot on, Cole. Okay, so from the vid doc, it looked like the Titan was on Mercury, and obviously we've talked about the subclasses. But do we think there are going to be new areas? I mean, do you think there's going to be more to do with Mercury, or what? What do you think is going to happen? Oh my God, I'm going to die.
Well, please don't. But I think we're going to see a lot more areas than we've seen before. Mostly because we have pushed back the darkness, as much as I really don't like how general a term is.
Yeah.
But
no one does.
Ooh, the darkness. Like, okay, what is the darkness? It's these things.
Yeah, they can't be specific. It's Bungie. Oh, no, I did get killed there. It's caught in between.
Well, if it's something like the Reapers from Mass Effect, I'll be pretty impressed. They were pretty fucking scary looking.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you're fighting the one, you know, by yourself, that was just amazing. I love that. But I think, what was my point again? Oh.
I don't know, Cole. Sometimes we don't know.
I was going somewhere with this.
I don't think you were.
I was. Oh, that's what it was. So, we're pushing back the darkness, obviously, because now we can go into the reef, you know. And I would think that Prince Aldrin and his crows have gone past the reef to, you know, into the complete darkness zones that, because we have the ones like right now, you know, we got some skull up there with our health. But there's probably areas where it's just complete and utter darkness, like being inside of a black hole. And I think with us pushing back and quote unquote taking the light, you know, as much as I hate that too, but bringing ourselves further into the system, we're taking back what we had before the collapse, and we're going to see more of what humanity was.
Come on.
We're going to see more areas.
I'm drunk.
And it's just going to be fantastic because we're going to be able to bring back ourselves.
What do you think specifically? What planets do you think we'll be seeing in the next DLC?
I'm hoping and this is where the science part comes out with me. I hope we get to see Jupiter and Saturn. Even though they're gas giants, and technically we're not supposed to land on them. The same thing goes with Venus, but obviously we have places there. Because the Traveler terraformed them all. But, I'm hoping that we get to see eventually every single planet, including Pluto. It is a planet.
It's a dwarf planet.
But I'm hoping we get to see every planet that we have in our solar system, and then eventually expound, you know, go out and see more.
Jesus, you've been talking.
My English is terrible right now.
Oh, brilliant. What about you, Game Freak? What do you think?
Well, I think we're going to see some new areas, because one of the new areas that we're going to be visiting is Mars' moon, Phobos, which is a brand new area, which I'm looking forward to because it shows, like, the history, like the Cabal aren't invading, they're running from Oryx, because what I think is Oryx took their homeworlds from them and they're looking for something in order to save their race. They're not intentionally evil, they're just trying to survive like the Guardians are. The same as way the Fallen are, they're pirates, they're scavengers, but they have a sense of like a
nobility and structure, yeah.
Yeah, but like the Cabal don't seem like intentionally evil, they're, from what like the Ghost said, like, yeah, they have technology that can potentially destroy planets, but there's something on Mars that they want, that they think they could save their race. And Oryx is, you can see, like, in the trailers, like, him pulling them into his dimension to turn them into weapons to use against us. And, like, you kind of feel bad for them in a way, but yeah, like, these guys have been fucking dicks trying to shoot at us, like, the whole time we called them. Like, it was, like,
I know, they kind of did just turn up and
show a bit of pity towards them. Like, another thing I think would be interesting is if they were taking Guardians. Like, that's something we haven't seen yet.
That would be
Taking
interesting.
Guardians, you know.
Do you think that's a possibility? Do you think that may be something
It
that...
might be a possibility.
No. I think it's definitely a thing that's happened because if you watch the Vidoc, they say there's loot in Oryx's giant dreadnought. Now, how did he get loot that Guardians can wear if they've never been there before or been taken?
Do you think something like maybe... Jesus, who am I thinking of? Toland? We thinking more stuff from him?
Something like, well, also Cade, you know, he has his notes.
Yeah, his notebook. We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry. Come on. I'm gonna save that for the next bit. Calm. I know you are. I know.
But I think it's a definitely possibility because Guardians. Because if you go back to the very first cutscene we ever see when we pop the disc into our PS4, they literally say that humanity lives longer when the Traveler is here. I mean, we come to 300, 400-year-old people, and that's the norm. So I don't see why we wouldn't have Guardians, you know, going out past and possibly fumbling over Oryx, and them getting caught up in his dreadnought, you know, being taken, and they've just been with him for so long that they'll be completely unrecognizable. You know?
Yeah, well, the question is, right, I have as well, if we're only pushing back the darkness now, and like story-wise, right, this is what we're doing now, why haven't our predecessors been able to do it? Why have only our Guardians been successful?
But
no one does.
Ooh, the darkness. Like, okay, what is the darkness? It's these things.
Yeah, they can't be specific. It's Bungie. Oh, no, I did get killed there. It's caught in between
Well, if it's something like the Reapers from Mass Effect, I'll be pretty impressed. They were pretty fucking scary looking.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you're fighting the one, you know, by yourself, that was just amazing. I love that. But I think, what was my point again? Oh.
I don't know, Carl. Sometimes we don't know.
I was going somewhere with this.
I don't think you were.
I was. Oh, that's what it was. So, we're pushing back the darkness, obviously, because now we can go into the reef, you know. And I would think that Prince Aldrin and his crows have gone past the reef to, you know, into the complete darkness zones that, because we have the ones like right now, you know, we got this skull up there with our health. But there's probably areas where it's just complete and utter darkness, like being inside of a black hole. And I think with us pushing back and quote unquote taking the light, you know, as much as I hate that too, but bringing ourselves further into the system, we're taking back what we had before the collapse, and we're going to see more of what humanity was.
Come on.
We're going to see more areas.
I'm drunk.
And it's just going to be fantastic because we're going to be able to bring back ourselves.
What do you think specifically? What planets do you think we'll be seeing in the next DLC?
I'm hoping and this is where the science part comes out of me. I hope we get to see Jupiter and Saturn. Even though they're gas giants, and technically we're not supposed to land on them. The same thing goes with Venus, but obviously we have places there. Because the Traveler terraformed them all. But, I'm hoping that we get to see eventually every single planet, including Pluto. It is a planet.
It's a dwarf planet.
But I'm hoping we get to see every planet that we have in our solar system, and then eventually expound, you know, go out and see more.
Jesus, you've been talking.
My English is terrible right now.
Oh, brilliant. What about you, Game Freak? What do you think?
Well, I think we're going to see some new areas, because one of the new areas that we're going to be visiting is Mars's moon, Phobos, which is a brand new area, which I'm looking forward to because it shows, like, the history, like the Cabal aren't invading, they're running from Oryx, because what I think is Oryx took their homeworld from them and they're looking for something in order to save their race. They're not intentionally evil, they're just trying to survive like the Guardians are. The same as way the Fallen are, they're pirates, they're scavengers, but they have a sense of like a
nobility and structure, yeah.
Yeah, but like the Cabal don't seem like intentionally evil, they're, from what like the Ghost said, like, yeah, they have technology that can potentially destroy planets, but there's something on Mars that they want, that they think they could save their race. And Oryx is, you can see, like, in the trailers, like, him pulling them into his dimension to turn them into weapons to use against us.
Hmm.
And like you kind of feel bad for them in a way, but yeah, like these guys have been fucking dicks trying to shoot at us like the whole time we called them. Like it wasn't like.
I know they
but,
kind of
like,
did
with the
just
pity,
turn
they
up and.
show a bit of pity towards them. Like another thing I think would be interesting is if they were taken guardians. Like that's something we haven't
Yes.
seen yet.
That would be
Taken
interesting.
guardians, you know.
Do you think that's a
Well,
possibility? Do you think that may be
Well,
something that?
might be a
absolutely, 'cause-
possibility.
No. I think it's definitely a thing that's happened because if you watch the vidoc, they say there's loot in Oryx's giant dreadnought. Now, how did he get loot that Guardians can wear if they've never been there before or been taken?
Do you think
You know?
something like maybe Jesus, who am I thinking of? Toland. We thinking more stuff from him.
Something like, well, also Cade, you know, he has his notes.
Yeah, his
treasure
notebook.
island book.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry. Come on. I'm gonna save that for the next bit. Calm. I know you are.
But,
I know.
But I think it's a definitely possibility because Guardians. Because if you go back to the very first cutscene we ever see when we pop the disc into our PS4, they literally say that humanity lives longer when the Traveler is here. I mean, we come to 300, 400-year-old people, and that's the norm.
Mm.
So I don't see why we wouldn't have Guardians, you know, going out past and possibly fumbling over Oryx, and them getting caught up in his dreadnought, you know, being taken, and they've just been with him for so long that they'll be completely unrecognizable.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah, well, the question is, right, I have as well, if we're only pushing back the darkness now, like story-wise, right, this is what we're doing now, why haven't our predecessors been able to do it? Why have only our Guardians been successful in taking out the Black Guardians?
Because there'd be no story. It would ruin everything.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, but like...
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah, but you think, like, was our predecessors, like, they had more powers than we had, and, like, they were unable to do it.
What's
And
changed?
Things like... Yeah, what has changed, like, was it, like, were we all fucking in the same fucking junkyard when we were brought back to life by ghosts, like, we're all fucking Russians? Like, that
I
kind
don't know,
of,
apparently.
All Russians.
Oh, right.
all Russians, yeah.
That's
Like, Russian
fantastic.
robots, Russian awoken. Like, it doesn't explain, like, what are the awoken, where did they actually come to be, were they, like, humanity's last hope in order to, like, try to preserve it, like, the machine, in the preserve man in the machine kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or, like, the awoken, like, were, like, kind of tainted by the darkness as it was coming towards us, like, it doesn't say anything about that. Like, hopefully, like, Oryx's story, like, explains,
We
like, a bit
we
more
don't
about
really
that.
know what could or could not be at the moment. It's kind of all conjecture.
Granted, I touch on that in my blog, but...
Yeah,
shameless plug,
there we go.
but,
There it is.
I
There's
do
the
touch
plug.
on it.
I'm surprised you didn't
Shameless
mention it at the
plug.
beginning.
I know.
So,
I was being
with
grateful.
no, don't be. That's what I want. We've got to talk about all these good things. So I think that is another big thing. Oryx's Dreadnought. They hinted, and I've obviously said this to Cole, and I'm sure you saw it as well, Game Freak. They hinted massively at all of that hidden loot, like areas that are going to be like bosses. Do you think there's going to be a lot of areas that where there'll be loot that will just be extremely difficult to get to, where, you know, some really elite players are going to have to get to, like proper platforming?
Yeah, I think so too. From what I can see from the trailer, you see like 3 Guardians like spawn on the bridge, something similar to the Vault of Glass mechanics, trying to, like, and open up a chest. Like I think like maybe Oryx's Dreadnought is like maybe they randomly generated the area, so like every time you go in, it's a different experience. There's different routes, different types of enemies.
That would be
Like, it would
fantastic.
change it up everything, you know, because like it's the size of a fucking planet. The whole thing is the size of a planet.
Yeah,
You
well,
see, like, in the trailer.
In the trailer as well, sorry, I was just going to say, like, there's loads of other ships as well, so yeah, I mean,
They're
this
like
ship must be
flagships, but,
huge.
like the Oryx is kind of like the mothership kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like a
Tell me about it.
It's the size of a planet, like, and like it's like from what they said, it's millions of years old. It's seen a lot of stuff, like as Ghost put it. Like the hive have taken thousands of worlds, so like who knows how many they've taken. Like hence like the Taken King kind of thing. But I'm also wondering, is there something out there stronger than Oryx? Like, is Oryx like the be-all end-all of the hive, or is there something more stronger than him out
There's
there?
something more,
Because
isn't there? Come on.
Like, there's Crota, who is the son of Oryx. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, he's probably billions of years old. I'm pretty sure he's fucking got laid a few more times than that.
Brilliant.
Oh god.
And then there's like was the hive themselves, like they all don't look the same. Like the Thrall look kind of like deformed, like emaciated humans. That's what I think they look like.
Yeah, no, I do know what you mean.
Wizards are just like they look more like insect-like, and the knights and the acolytes are pretty similar in their design. Like the same way Eris like has been in Crota's End in his abyss for a long time, and she got corrupted by being there for so long.
Well, there you go. See, this is more stuff to talk about. That's just all of that is like definitely a huge thing.
Supposedly she was in the Hellmouth for that amount of time.
Well, not all of it. Potentially the reef as well.
Yeah.
Recently, before coming to us, yeah. I think we're going to have to do some sort of a oh god, I'm going to get killed. We're going to have to do some sort of a
podcast on lore.
we have to do a lore podcast. It's going to have to happen now.
Absolutely.
There you go. You're going to be in it as well, are you, Game Freak?
I'll be happy to say with it, no problem.
There you go. It's confirmed. I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to do this again. What was I going to say? Where were we on this?
We were talking about loot besides Orcs and Dreadnought.
I'm just trying to figure. Here we go. Right, final one. New cap being 50. I mean, obviously they've said that I'll think come up with the English at some point. They've obviously said that's subject to the change. God damn it. But 50, if it is 50, how do we feel about the old raids? It's going to become an obsolete almost, isn't it? Or do you think they're going to update it? Because obviously they said also about updating the strikes to be in line so they're still up to date. What do you think is going to happen in all of those?
I think they'll keep the raids as is because like there's incentive for new players to go back in. Like there's certain weapons, like I know I would, if I was a new player, I'd want that. Like there's the Fatebringer from the Vault of Glass. There is like the Hunger Crota from Crota's End. Like if you don't have Galahorn, it's a good second rocket launcher. It's the second best in the game in terms of its damage output. Then there's like gems like fucking Vision of Confluence, which is just really hard to beat in terms of it's just an amazing scout rifle. And then there's like the Fang, which is so well balanced. Like it's like one of my second.
The Fang is fantastic. I love that scout rifle so much.
Like, some other was it the Fang Verdict, the Corrective Measure, which is still my favorite machine gun. I don't care about any other. Like Jolder's Hammer and that is my two favorites. Like, can't be beaten.
Yeah, Jolder's Hammer is quite good as well, actually. It's one of my favourite heavy machine guns.
Also, they're changing the Iron Banner weapons designs. Instead of having like a gold design, they're having a green and gold like leaf trim design with the wolf head on it.
Nice.
Like if you look at the Iron Wreath sidearm, that's the new design they're going to go with the weapons.
Another interesting fact. To be honest, I think that kind of colour scheme would be fantastic for it as well. I do. It's just.
I do too. It's a nice change.
It's going to be a nice change, and I think it keeps with the. Oh, it's back there. Both ran the wrong way. I don't know why I assumed it would be over there either.
That's why you never move till it's up.
Oh, sorry, Miss Professional.
Well, I am. Just
well,
saying.
this is true.
You know.
I suppose you are an admin. Part of the problem is we're playing a Prison of Elders, and not that it's hard, there's just sometimes so many ads, you just can't concentrate on everything.
Yeah.
Well, I hope one thing they don't like put in, like Crota's End was when you're fighting just like air youth, they just throw everything at you possible, like all them majors. Like I think that is something they shouldn't do at Oryx. Like make it like so like there's a trick to beating the boss, like kind of like Atheon, like. Something like that was like a relic of some kind of weapon you have to use against like the sword or the shield, because like that you have to use something against each like raid boss now, so they shouldn't change that kind of element. But I'm hoping like the weapons from Oryx are much better than what we've been getting, because raid weapons are like
in terms of design as well.
Exotics. In terms of design, yeah, they should look like have that kind of like necrochasm kind of look to them, because. I know, I love the look of Necrochasm, but it's just a terrible weapon.
It's just an awful
kind of, like,
weapon.
Corrupted, twisted hive design you see, like, and like murmur and like not like the Crota's End weapons where it's just like a bunch of bones like strapped to like regular weapon designs, like something unique that stands out. Like was it like even like the sounds of them as well, like the way like exotic sound unique, have something like that.
Yeah, I think
But
they definitely need a unique sound because even though the Crota weapons, I wouldn't say they were all completely redesigned. I know a few people kind of got annoyed at the ships, especially for kind of being just the same ones as before. I was like, how did you find radiant shards? I'm guessing you just destroyed something.
Oh yeah, destroyed something, yeah.
I'm just kind of hoping that I lost my train of thought. There it is, just went there straight away. Right, I think we're just going to keep moving it on. I think the last thing, I don't know if you know about this, Game Freak, but in terms of the story, obviously me and Cole have been reading the backstory a little bit, but do you know about the Harbingers?
Harbingers?
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard of it then.
I suppose it might not be general knowledge. Maybe we should save it. Maybe we should save that for another podcast.
Yeah, let's save it for our podcast.
We'll save it for another podcast. I think is everyone happy with that? I think we'll kind of cut it off there. I know we were going to do some PvP stuff, but I'm sure we can talk again and do that next week, and we'll do a whole thing on PvP instead if we like. Would everyone would you guys enjoy watching that or being a part of it if you're free?
Yep.
Awesome.
We'll do PvP in the next podcast kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll do that then. I'm going to pop a weapons light here, by the way. But I think we'll end it here, guys. Thank you everyone for watching. Until the next time, I hope you enjoyed this. Poor Captain. Poor Captain.
Oh.
We'll find Centurions. Sorry, just saw what Legal put. But yeah, I'll kill myself. Let me kill him, and then I'll end it. Can't end it without killing him.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Come on. You guys ending podcast? No, my day was going so quick. God damn it, I'm just getting pounded by all of the captains.
Getting pounded from all sides.
Yeah, suffering the same issue as you. There we go. That's it. Perfect. What a way to end. Okay, thank you everyone for watching. It will be on next week at 8 PM BST, and unfortunately can't have the graphics to show you all of the things. But thank you very much for watching. See you next week. Have a good one. Bye from all of us.
Need you.